Okay, and welcome back, Math for Business and Finance and Math Application students. Chapter 3 Drill Problems, Odd Number Problems, and we had left off with 3-47. Okay, so we're up to 3-49. Okay, all right. Convert the following two decimals and round to the nearest hundredth. Right? So 1 divided by 25, 1 divided by 25. We have to round to the nearest hundredth, so we 3 places. So 25 doesn't go in the 1, obviously. 25 doesn't go in the 10. 25 goes in the 100 4 times with 0 remainder. Okay, so my answer is 0.04. That one was relatively simple. 3-51, same thing. 5 divided by 8. Okay, round to the nearest hundredth, so I need 3 spaces here, 3 places. Bring my decimal up. Decimal is all important. So 8 doesn't go into 5, 8 goes into 50 4 times, right? 5 times, 6 times. 5 times is 40, 6 times is 48. That's 20. Goes into that 2 times, that's 16. Bring down my 4, 40. So 5 is 40. So my answer is 0. My division answer is 6.25, but we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So here's the hundredth. Look to the right. It's 5 or greater, so I have to round up. So my answer is 0.63. Okay. Next problem. Complete these multiplication and divisions by the shortcut method. Do not write any written calculations. Okay, we had already touched upon that way back when we first started doing these. Watch those first videos for, let's see here, drill problem 3-3, 3-5, 3-7. I kind of explained this, but I'm just going to do it right now. So remember that. Let me just write that up here. Come on. Problems 3.3, 3.5, and 3.7 covered me doing the shortcut method. All right, it's just something that came into my head. I do it automatically. So here we go. 258.5, and since I'm dividing by 100, okay, that means that I'm going to move the decimal place to the left 2 digits because I have 2 zeros here. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, and I end up with an answer of 2.585. Okay, that's my answer. Okay, remember, decimal place, going to the left is whole numbers, going to the right is fractions. Okay, so if I'm dividing by 100, right, that means my number, my whole number is going to get smaller. So I'm going to go to the right by moving my decimal place. If I'm multiplying by 100, I'm going to move my decimal place to the right because it makes my whole number a lot larger. Okay? Makes sense? If I have, we'll use this 258.5, okay? If I'm dividing by 100, okay, and this was covered under problem 3.43, where the textbook was wrong and I gave all of the explanations, so you might want to go back and watch that particular video as to just a quick understanding of it. Well, because I'm dividing by a fraction, that means my number is going to get smaller, okay, by moving it 2 places. However number of zeros I have, if I had 3 zeros, right, I would have moved it a 3rd place. If I had 4 zeros, I would have moved it another place, okay? if I'm going to multiply the number, I'm going to move to the right. If I'm multiplying, I'm going to go to the right because now my number gets greater. So let's say I was multiplying by 100, okay? Well, I would move it over 2 places because now my number becomes 850, okay? 25,000. Obviously, I'm multiplying it, if I have a number 1 and if I multiply by 1, that's going to be the same number. But if I'm going to take 10 times that amount, well, then it's going to be 2,585. 100 times that amount is going to be 25,850. Okay, it's just a little common sense. But by using the shortcut method, and just moving the decimal places, we can save ourselves from actually doing all of the math to prove it. Okay. All right. So 3-55. 0.86. All right. So I'm sorry. Yeah, 0.86. So I'm going to divide by 100. So I want to move the decimal place 1, 2. So my answer becomes 0.0086. I'm moving it 2 places because of the hundredths, which is the double zero. Okay, my answer. Complete the following. Look back to the, the previous problem here. 48.6. Since I'm 1 decimal for the tens place, I'm going to go to the right, move it 1. 486 is my answer. Okay, because obviously it's 10 times greater. So if I have 48, 10 times that amount has to be at least 480, right? Makes sense? Same thing here. 3,950, and if I'm multiplying it 1,000 times, okay, I have to add 3 zeros, right? So my answer becomes 3,950,000. Okay. Now on a number like that, yeah, I'm going and doing that, but notice that I had written it 3950, and I know my decimal place is here, okay? And so with 1,000, all I'm doing is just adding the 3 zeros, knowing that my decimal place is going to be here. So all I need to do is just put in the commas, and now I've even done it a little bit quicker than me putting, showing how many places I go over. Just by knowing that my decimal is here, and I have to add the 3 zeros because I have 3 zeros here, I know the decimal place is automatically added over here. So all I need to do is just put in the commas in order to get my answer of 3,950,000. 61. Okay, same thing, right? 7.9132. I have 3 zeros. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 decimal places, so the decimal ends up being right there. So I have 7913.2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. That's another thought just popped in my head. When you're writing a decimal, make sure that you write it as a dot. When you're writing a comma, make sure you're able to distinguish the comma, okay, from the decimal. People have a tendency just to put that as a comma and that as a decimal, and that can be confusing. You have to make sure that your comma actually looks like a comma. Otherwise, you're apt to make mistakes. All right, and hey, that was it. I'm going along here and I'm thinking I had more to do, okay? So that's the end of the drill problems, and I'll see you in the next video for word problems.